Glad to know you are there for another time when we bring to you the program Community Report. And on this week's edition, we will be concluding the story we started last week on the dominance and growing influence of the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUTH. That tertiary institution, by virtue of its location, expansion, personnel, facility and healthcare solution, has become a one-stop destination and community for those requiring medical treatment. LASUTH is pioneering some medical breakthroughs, especially in conducting certain surgery procedures. Stay tuned to find out some of those breakthrough stories. I'm your host, Olu Phillips. As an aspiring world-class health solution community, the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUTH, has a deliberate program in place that attend to health needs in primary, secondary, and tertiary category.
In LASUTH, the management, they are more concerned about the outcome. They are passionate about the patients, and we keep on having talks, over and over about attitudinal change. They're more concerned about the attitudinal change, attitude towards patients. Then also, we're also very concerned here about the outcome of our treatment with our patients. And, sometimes you have patients that cannot afford maybe surgery, to pay for surgery or even drugs. I mean, there's also a platform where they can get, at least, through the social workers, they can get their drugs, at least to make sure that we make these patients comfortable. So as soon as you step into LASUTH, you are sure that you'll be taken good care of. Then before you can now talk of, how to pay, or because we know that some people, they cannot just afford it, despite the fact that most of the things we do here are being subsidized, because you can't compare it to other maybe private hospitals out there, and you still get value for their money, So I think that puts us up there.
Though as a referral place and as a teaching hospital, they will rather concentrate their effort in focusing on being just a tertiary hospital, as the current expanded program does not give enough room for specialty advancement as rapidly as they may be required. The students who train here to earn medical qualification according to industry statistics feature among the best in the profession. That testament, we are told, derives heavily from the upgrades that feature consistently and constantly at this health institution, both in terms of modern equipment and personnel training.
Conceptualization of a transplant program in LASUTH. Actually, I've been in place for about 4 years or thereabouts, and we thought it's something we can do right here in LASUTH. And the first thing we recognized was the fact that we needed to get trained. And so both the medical team, that's the nephrology team, the surgical unit, actually went on training in a single hospital where they do about 5 kidney transplants per day, so about 1,000 per year. It's one of the highest in the world, and you can see how they run their affairs, how they, the organization in that hospital, and the way they do their transplants. Not even, I'm sure, not even any center in the US or UK can match that volume of kidney transplants has been done in that hospital, and the organization, the network of services that accompanies that kind of service. So we were there, and it was an eye opener in that the highly sophisticated, let me say, theaters that you see in the UK, and the instruments that we thought we would probably need for us to carry out a successful transplant. All of a sudden, the myth just just disappeared, and we realized we could actually use what we have here, and we just needed a few more things to add to what we already have on ground, and that's exactly what we did. So by the time we came back and designed our own program, you know that, well, we've had that training for over 3 years, and we've been to various places. We've acquired knowledge from those places. We've seen how they did their things, and we're able to actually fashion out what is most appropriate. Yeah. Given our own constraints here and what we have on ground. We did the first one in November last year, and it's a big success. Practically the kidney function is okay. So really, the confidence is there. We don't too much need somebody to invite people to come and operate for us, because yes, the surgeons are there. Yes, limited experience, you might say, but then with proper training, with a lot of assisting in so many of such operations, and having had the opportunity to visit more than one center. At least each of us must have gone to about a minimum of 3 centers or so, just to acquire that knowledge about kidney transplants.
Rather than interdepartmental or specialty unit rivalry, which is usually not far-fetched with large communities as this, the various composite parts of LASUTH are encouraged and galvanized to compare notes with international established structures and practice, and that accounts for the success drive at the specialty units.
We had a few successes. You know about the state promise to the people that there will be free health for anybody below 12 and everybody above 60. And this has posed a lot of challenge as well. But thank God, because we are supported by the government and we are supported by the ministry, we've been able to achieve a lot of this. Not only that, we've also gone above and beyond that. We've done some cutting-edge medical treatment. We've done cochlear transplant, which is about the first, if not in Nigeria, maybe second. I think somewhere in the north, one was done, but we've done 10 of that. And it's different from using an hearing aid. You have to. Now, cochlear implant is an electronic implant that is buried in the bone around the ear. Okay? And there's no wire connecting. And then the patient wears a small aid in her hair or under her cap, which allows the patient to hear. And this also is very useful in children. So we've actually been able to make children who have never heard, who had challenges with hearing in their life, to learn how to interpret sound and to talk. You know, most people are called deaf and dumb. But the fact is, they cannot speak because they don't even know what voice, they haven't heard anything. So when you correct the deafness, then you send them to the speech therapist who now they learn how to talk. And we've done this about 5 children. We've also achieved this we've done 10 now. 7 children, about 3 adults. One of them was here about 3 weeks ago, telling me she plans to do the other ear.
For instance, the ENT unit of LASUTH has a success story in this direction. They have carried out a cochlear implant procedure here with results to show. The cochlear procedure gives another chance to those who are challenged with hearing or born deaf to hear again.
Since the inception about 30 years ago when cochlear implant started, that's a device, an electronic device put into the ear canal by operation into the brain so that the patient can hear through that. So once you know that the patient is not hearing, you put it. In developed worlds, we can say the deaf community has been eradicated somewhere, except for those who didn't adhere to instructions earlier on. But nowadays, you get to see the person that is deaf and you do the hearing, the cochlear implantation, and the patient is well for it. In children, if you do it early enough, they can live like normal people. That means you can call them backing you, and they will respond well to you. They talk to them with their back to you. And the other thing is that you can talk to them on phone. I mean, that's a great thing. From somebody who can't hear you at all, for you to be able to speak to the person on the phone, that's great. So what's the problem about it is the device is so expensive. A lot of people can't afford it. But if you look at the value of the device being used on the patient and the patient's benefit for it, I mean, the patient can actually attend. We've had people who can't hear becoming an ENT surgeon, becoming the cochlear implant surgeon. They're all over the world. So this is quite important that we should screen the child as early as possible, because by the time you don't do it early enough, by the time the child is getting to about 5, 6, 7, it's already late. You can't get the full benefit. But the ideal age is about 1, 3, less than 4. Once the child can't hear, get the implant into it. So that's why it is important for us to do early screening. It's not that you expect the child to start hearing at 3 years old and that's when you start thinking of coming and you can't even raise the money again.
The doctors are proudly Nigeria products, first before any advancements in practice and training. And for them, nothing will be more fulfilling than to see Nigerians patronize their own, which again explains why there is so much medical tourism flying out from the window with the attendant loss of foreign exchange.
Everything in health system, when it comes to building capacity, volume is needed. If you want to convince a drug company, come, bring your drugs, you need to reduce it with the cost. You need to show them that at that cost you're asking them to reduce the prices to, that you can generate sufficient number of patients to make it profitable, for that company. And that's the stage we are in Nigeria, because we need that volume. If we have that volume, we can bring down the costs tremendously. Okay, Indians are enjoying a reduction in the cost because they have that volume. But if you have, that volume in Nigeria, Nigerians, we know our population, we know the number of Nigerians that are over there in India, and if we can have that population in our system, I can assure you the health sector, at least renal replacement therapy, will improve tremendously in the country.